Hey everybody, Jason here and welcome to another episode of Driver's Paddock. Next to me is a Mark 8 GTI, and this is sort of the econ box. Of course, it has the EA888 motor. This car actually runs 87, not 91, not 94, 87. And on this gen of motors, if you keep it stock tuned, it doesn't make any more power with higher octane fuels. So let's see what this econ box can do on the track. Without further ado, let's take a closer look at this car. Then we'll take it out on track, and in the end, I'll give you my full review. Is the GTI just an econ box, or can it hold its own on track? Let's find out. Alright everyone, first off, it does feel a little bit boaty. The steering wheel is a bit big, and the clutch travel is super long. And the shifter, I don't feel much at all really through this shifter, unfortunately. Was never a fan of Volkswagen manuals, but here we go, this is going to be fun. I'm excited to try out basically a stock Mark 8 GTI. This has pads, fluids, and it does have the max out camber for stock, which is, I think he got a little bit just under 1.7, so 1.6 something camber. So here we go, Mark 8 GTI. Joshua Chen is a CSCS, he's won multiple podiums. He's a really fast driver, and he did it 139, so let's see what we can do. Power is not bad at all. A little bit of push, definitely needs more camber and a stiffer spring rate. Travel through the brakes. Oh, you got to really let the suspension settle. It's very soft. A little bit of trail braking into there. Oh my God. What the heck was that? Yeah, you can't rush this car. You just end up killing the fronts. I'd really settle the car, trail brake it in a bit, let the suspension settle, then get on the power. Not used to it being this soft. The diff is surprisingly good. car definitely needs more camber. You're just waiting so long for the suspension to settle. Just killing the fronts here. It's just so soft. The diff is really good though. Brakes are really good as well. Okay, let's do a cool down lap. Okay, what can we expect from a stock-ish GTI? Number one, the tire is definitely rolling over. We are running a lot of tire pressure both in the front and in the rear because we need to prevent some of the rollover. We need to give the tire some more sidewall stiffness, but this car needs camber and it definitely needs stiffer spring rates for a tight track like this. You really have to slow the car ahead of time. This car does not really rotate on liftoff mechanics. It's just too soft, it takes too long. What I would love to do is a stiffer rear sway bar, maybe add some more tire pressure to the back, maybe some bump stop packers to increase the spring rates a little bit. Like, this car honestly is very capable. Everything is just a bit soft. The long travel through the clutch, long travel in the brakes. The suspension, again, like I said, is quite soft. It does float around a little bit. Over the bumps, it doesn't really want to settle. Like, it does bounce around a little bit, which is why I'm not attacking these curbs as hard. I also don't want to bend these beautiful NK wheels. But let's cool down. Let's do one more full send lap. The key to driving this car is being patient, not over speeding, and not killing the front tires. So let's go for one more hot lap, guys. Let's go. All right, guys, here we go. Full attack. Got to get your braking done in a straight line ASAP. A little bit of trail braking, get it to rotate. Patience, pull the car straight, carry good speed through here. Rotate, not bad. Got to brake in a straight line here for sure. Round out the corner a bit. Flat through here. Carry good speed. Into second. Use the diff. Into third. Hard on the brakes. Don't miss the apexes. Not bad. A 139.3. Okay. Wow. GTI breaking 130s, sorry, 140s at DDT.
Damn, custom couch.
Yeah, this is exactly the couch. Anyways, guys, wow, MK8 GTI, and this is Josh. He's the owner, and he's had multiple BRZs. Have you had one BRZ?
One BRZ.
One BRZ.
First gen.
First gen, and you were like setting some crazy lap times on local tracks, like a local track hero. Has taught me a lot as well. But dude, why did you sell the BRZ? Why are you in a MK8 GTI?
So the BRZ was a summer toy for me. I never, I had a car, I had a daily for winter as well. But then because of my living situation right now, I just don't have another parking spot. So my wife has a car and I have a car. Therefore, I just needed a one-car solution.
One car solution. So, I mean, you basically got it. It's pretty much stock. You've put those. What wheels are those? So the NKs, right?
Yeah, the
What are they?
RS05, RR.
I think they look absolutely amazing on the car. It's really, really good. I think it's a really good looking car. So, what do you think? You've tracked it once at Shannonville, once at DDT.
Yeah.
Does it suit your needs? Is it a good street and track car?
I would say for a beginner, 100%. Once you're more comfortable with driving, I would say it is pretty soft, and it is not very adjustable. But either way, it's a very, very good car that you can drive around town comfortably and still take it to the track and put down a reasonable lap time.
What is it lacking on track?
Dampers.
Dampers?
It's very, very soft.
Very soft.
It dives like crazy, and obviously it doesn't settle in the corners, and it bounces around quite a bit. I'd say that's the biggest thing. The rest of it, the package is actually there, right? So the brakes are decent, considering, so the Mark 8 GTI has the Mark 7 Golf R brakes. So they're decent size, even though they're single piston, but I never really had any issues on track, especially with pads.
What pads are you running?
Endless MX87.
Honestly, really good modulation.
Yeah.
One thing is there is a lot of brake travel. There is a lot of brake travel, but I mean that could be a good thing, right? Same with the clutch, really soft and really long travel, not that much feel. Same with the shifter. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of Volkswagen shifters, and your knob is loose as well. Like it's about to come out. I was scared I was going to smack myself in the face. When I was shifting, I was pushing down on it and then like making sure that the knob stays on. But what changes would you make to this car if you didn't have to street it as well?
100% coilovers, that would be the first. Coilovers with proper camber plates, adjustable and spherical. So the car does lack camber.
A lot of rollover in the front, like those tight
rollover.
corners, like the front end's rolling over. Like we had to add a whole bunch of front tire pressure to stiffen up the sidewall just to get it to maybe turn, right? Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, the diff is great.
The diff is the crown jewel. I was just going to say, it's the best part of the car when on track. But I do think it's grabbing the brakes quite a lot. Not quite like Elantra N, and definitely not like the Civic Type R where it grabs the rear as well. I think it's overheating the brakes a little bit. What do you think?
Definitely. Earlier today, we went up for a session, did 5-6 laps with 3 hot laps, and I came back and the brakes were completely smoking. And I was only sending it for like 3 laps.
Yeah. What I think is like in the really tight sections, it's really trying to grab the brakes to help the car turn, and then you have the diff. It's quite a lot going on, but actually it works quite well. I felt like it's quite seamless, and I think Volkswagen did a really good job with the front diff. But I think to really excel at a tighter track like this, maybe big rear sway bar to get it to rotate, put a ton of rear tire pressure, more camber in the front, really stiffer spring rates in the back relative to the front, and then just get the car to rotate, because if it doesn't rotate, it's going to keep scrubbing the front tires. I really tried getting it to rotate. Like Elantra N rotates really well out of the box. Civic Type R better, and also uses the rear brakes to grab. This one doesn't really do that, but this one I think excels with the diff. I think the diff actually works really, really well.
I would say the Elantra and the Type R, both cars are more aggressive and more track focused.
Definitely.
I think the Mark 8 itself is, nobody thinks of the Mark 8 as a performance car. I feel, especially the GTIs. Everyone focuses on the M2 3.4s, the Type Rs, even the Elantra, but nobody really thinks about the GTI. It's just a little GTI. That's why I think it's so surprising that it puts down the lap times that it does, even in stock form, and it's got pretty reliable performance.
Yeah. This car is on what tire again?
AD09s.
80, so not even like sticky 200 tread, or 8009, something that he dailies as well. What time did you put that at Shannonville?
201.
201. Can you give some relative lap times for the viewers to understand how fast that actually is?
Sure. So I'll give some lap times that I did at Shannonville. So this car did a 201. Low 201s at Shannonville on AD09s. I had a Mini Cooper before, an F56 JCW. Similar mod, same stock suspension, that put down 204. And then on the faster end of things, I drove a Gen 2 8.6. That did a 157.
Yeah, coilovers, 200 tread wear,
Yeah.
a seat.
And
Simple,
that,
simple
yeah,
build.
that's about it.
Yeah.
So that
What about the M4 you drove?
so it's an M3 competition, 154.
Yeah, 54s. Yeah.
Stock suspension, just tires.
Yeah, that track is more flowy. It doesn't have as many tight corners. I think GTI like this with such soft suspension and no camber, at least you can wait for the car to settle, load those tires, and you can kind of push it through the sweepers. At a tight track like this, it really struggles. However, it's still put down a 139. I did a 139.3. Josh did a 139.6. That's on the record. Okay, that's on the record. Yeah, like even then, that's a very respectable time. Like sub 140.
Sub 140 on 8009s.
On 8009s with like 1 point something camber, right?
Yeah.
It's very impressive, and it just needs a little bit of setup, and I don't know how much you want to compromise. It seems like every mod you do for the track, it kind of makes it worse for the street. I know you're expecting a baby, but already it's very impressive.
It's very, very impressive, and I don't think people give it the credit it deserves. Mark 8s. And they're very, very affordable. So I think this is a very, very good budget entry-level car that you can daily, very comfortably, and send it on track.
Yeah.
Do decent too.
Yeah. One last thing I want to cover is I only did 3 hot laps with some breaks in between. How is overheating? Has any issues?
So my car is completely stock powered, and it hasn't really had much of a heat issue. Oil temps do get up to like 130 Celsius after like maybe 3 hot laps at DDT. So not too bad. Water temp is fine. I don't have trans temp, so that's the only issue that sort of issue that I had was the brakes, just smoking.
Yeah.
The pads were fine, but it's just very, very hot.
Yeah, yeah. You've changed the fluids, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So what's your final verdict, man? What if you were to tell one-liner, Mark 8 GTI, track car, street car? What's your final thoughts?
Check it out. It will surprise you.
It's surprising. It's a GTI.
It's a
GTI, right?
It's super comfortable, super quiet. It will surprise you.
Yeah, the cloth seats, man, they look great, but I was like sliding around all over trying to find the shifter. I didn't want to miss-shift it. Like it's good pushing a shift knob down, trying to brace myself against the steering wheel, long travel pedals and everything. Like not a lot of feel.
No feel.
But
it gets the job done.
It gets the job done. Mark 8 GTI. Check it out.